Hello friends, this video I am going to demonstrate how to prepare sales register into Power BI from Tally data. So I am going to export Tally data into CSV file using Tally to database utility and then import it into Power BI and would demonstrate how you can prepare sales register from it. So let's begin. So before I export, let's have a glance of the data which we are going to extract. Okay, so you can see sales voucher. So it is simply a sales register from Tally in the columnar format, and you can see so almost 1700 transactions are there. And now if you go to export and export it into Excel, Tally will take lot of time to export. Like in my PC, it took 3 to 4 minutes to export whole of the data and prepare Excel file. Now let's see how to do this via Power BI. I hope you already have downloaded the utility. So let me go to this folder. Okay, so you can see a folder like that, and even you would get this if you go to the GitHub project link. And don't worry, link of this project and download link are provided in the YouTube description. Okay. Now, normally this utility is used to transfer data from Tally to SQL Server, MySQL, or any of the database server. But friends, I have given an option wherein you can also generate CSV file instead of transferring this data into database server. Let's see that option first. So if you go to config.json and edit it using any of your text editor. Okay, so by default, you would see some settings like this. Okay, so first let us configure of our from to date. Okay, so if I go to Tally, the sales register is for April 21 to March 22. Okay, so our date is 1/4/21, 31/3/22. Date is perfect. Okay, now here generally uh, MS SQL is written. That means transfer this data into SQL Server. But if I remove this MS SQL and write CSV, okay, utility will not transfer this data into any of the database server. It will simply generate CSV files of that. Okay. Remaining now settings are dead. Once you set this to CSV, all the remaining settings of database are simply dummy. These settings are active. Okay, so let's run the utility now. So I will double click run and generate CSV files. Let's wait for the utility to generate the CSV files, and as soon as the files are generated, that black window would close. Okay, let's check for the error log. It's 0 KB. Let me open it. Okay, it is empty. That means let's check import log. Okay, so import was completed successfully with all these files generated. Let us have a glance of this file. Okay, so if I go to a folder called CSV, you can try and open any of this CSV into Excel. So if I double click here, let's say TRN voucher, let's open it and verify. So friend, we can see vouchers here. Okay, let's verify if all the vouchers were exported. I'll go to Tally and go to a report called statistics. So there were 3,146 transactions. Let me check into TRN voucher. Okay, 3147 minus first header row 3146. So all transactions have been exported. Now let's import this data into Power BI. Okay, so now we will not be importing all these files because not every file is required. Okay, you require only specific 3 to 4 files, which we will see. Okay, so I'll copy this path. Okay, Control C, copy this path, and let's go into Power BI. Okay, so I already have Power BI open. Okay, and I'll go to get data and from text CSV file. Okay, and let's open this folder. Okay, it's already open. Okay, now the first file I would be importing is voucher file. Okay, TRN voucher. which contains all the header information of the voucher like date, voucher number, what type of voucher it is. Okay, so I will simply press load, which will load this data into our Power BI data model. Okay, let's see. TRN voucher loading data to data model. Okay, let's wait. Okay, 3146 rows loaded. Let's go to data view and check this data. Okay, all this data got loaded. Okay, now coming to this, we need one more file called account team records because this file is just having header information. Now we will import debit and credit effects of this. Okay. So these effects are in a file called TRN accounting. Okay, let me open and import this file also. Okay, load data. Now by default, Power BI will attempt to detect some relationship between these two. So if you go to model view, okay, it has tried to detect some relationship. Let me double click here and check whether the relationship was proper. Yes, GUID, GUID. This is the connecting field. Okay, and one to many, which means one voucher can have multiple debit and credit. Okay, it will have at least one debit credit, means two associated rows in this, or it may have more than, let's say, one debit, two credit, two, or any of this. Okay, so it has detected relationship like this. Let's import one more table, supporting table called ledger master. Okay, MST ledger, which contains detail about ledgers. Now, why we require this table, I will tell you later. For now, just let us load this first. Okay. Okay. Again, it has tried to detect some relationship. Okay. And now, one thing you need to know, many time Power BI detects incorrect relationship. Like the voucher and ledger table is not at all associated with each other. So I will simply right click and delete this relationship. Okay, this is an incorrect relationship detected by Power BI. Okay, so the correct relationship is that the ledger field here, okay, and name of the ledger from here. Okay, if I go name, these two are associated. So I would drag this name into this ledger to associate a correct relationship, one to many. Okay, so one ledger can have multiple transactions. Means, let's say a cash ledger can be used in many of the ledger count transactions. Okay. Okay, now we are set with this and we are done with the modeling part. So let me save this file. Let's say on the desktop and let's say sales register, sales register. Now the next step is preparation of the report. Okay, so I'll have to go to this report view page. Okay, okay, now let me insert one visual called matrix. Okay, now matrix is nothing but a pivot table or equivalent in of Excel. Okay, it's a pivot table of Excel. Let me expand this. Okay, now before I start preparing this, okay, now please note one thing. We would be require only sales transaction. Okay, naturally purchase or let's say receipt payment transaction cannot appear in sales register. So we would require a filter on this. Okay, so first let us apply a filter on this entire page so that all my widgets, like let's say matrix or any of the widget I'm using, don't unnecessarily detect other transactions which are not related to sales register. Okay. So let me drag that field first into filter. Okay. So in the TRN voucher, okay, voucher type, let's apply filter on voucher type. So I will drag voucher type on filters on this page, okay, here. And from here, I will deselect this and specifically select sales transactions, okay. Now let's say if you have multiple voucher types for sale, you will have to connect even MST voucher type table and apply filter in the field called parent of that table instead of this voucher type of TRN voucher. Okay, but since I have very simple data, I will apply to only sales. Okay, now the remaining transaction will not appear here. Now let me start dragging. Okay, so I will drag first date. Okay, so where is the date field? Okay, this is the date field. Let me drag it into that widget. Quarter, date, month. Now I don't want in this way. So I will simply say date. Okay, not hierarchy. Okay, this is it. Okay, now next I want voucher number. So I'll even drag that. For now, I can collapse this filter pane, okay, for better space. Let's right click and expand all and check. Okay. Okay. After that, party name. Okay, so there is a field called party name here. So even let us drag that. Expand all. Now this tree view is a bit annoying. So in this widget, there is a setting called stepped view. Okay, step layout. So I will just turn it off so that it becomes in columnar fashion. Okay. And now we want remaining fields to be dragged. So let me drag amount first, or let's drag ledgers before the amount. Okay. So let me drag the ledgers now into column. Okay, now the issue is that, and I can see all this again party ledgers here. Okay, just like Excel pivot table. But these party ledgers are already coming here. Now I don't want those ledger here. I simply want sales and GST or any expense ledger associated with that. Okay, so I want to get rid of this. Now why this is coming, let me drag transaction amount and then you will come to know that why this is happening. Okay, so in values, I'll drag transaction amount and then you will come to know. Okay. Now the issue is that in this pivot table, whole double entry is picked. Okay, but I am not really interested in entire double entry. So I don't want party account portion of our entry. Okay, I simply want sales and GST and any of the expense ledger. So I want that row of my accounting double entry to be removed. Okay, so that all this field will go away and it will automatically establish a total. Okay, so now let us filter out even party ledgers from this. Now how to detect party ledgers? Okay, let me again expand this filter. Now it is very simple. For that, ledger table is required. Now since all this is connected, we can use any of the information here. Okay, now if you go to our data window, let me show you what exactly is happening. So I'm getting all the effects. Okay, debit credit here. So I want to get rid of those part where party ledger is used. Okay, party ledger is used. So if I go to ledger table, okay, and all the parent with sundry data. Okay, so if I apply this filter that just keep all the transactions of which parent ledger parent is not sundry data, then we will get all the remaining ledgers. Okay. So let me again go back here and let me drag this parent field into this here. Okay. And here I will say advanced filter, and where this name is not equal to sundry daters. Okay, not equal to sundry daters. Let us apply this filter. Okay, so naturally the data rows would be removed because they are already here in the party name field. So I would be left with only sales and GST ledger. Now even let's remove this totaling. So I will disable total row subtotaling. Okay, so and this is the, and we have party account effect here in the total. Okay, so this way you can prepare sales register. Now the time for finishing touches, because this is not a very good at looking and usable report. So let's give some finishing touches. So I will disable this. Okay, now we want, let's say, page header to appear. So I will insert, go here and insert a text box. Let's drag this properly to the header and drag it into. Okay, and it's sales register. Select this, increase the font, bold it, center align, and let's do it properly. Okay, so I will, let's say, let's give some good background color to it. Okay, like let's say, okay, and font color, let's keep it white. Okay, sales register, and let's rename this date column. Okay, so I'll click somewhere here. All this column header we can rename. So this is date, voucher number, party, and this various ledgers. Okay, which obviously we cannot rename because these are in set in tally. Okay, and let's apply some filters. Let's say, so that if you want to look party wise, okay, drill down on the party, or sorry, look filter for specific party, you can very easily do it. Okay, so let me insert slicers. Slicer is nothing but a filter. Okay, let me make some space for the slicer. Okay, let's drag all the data ledger here. Okay, so I'll go here and I will drag party into it. Okay, party name. Okay, party name here, and let me do this in drop down style. Okay, let me undo it. Okay, so basically I want a drop down. Okay, somewhere here now they have changed. So here select all. Okay, drop down. So can get, so you can filter on specific parties if you want, like this. can hold control and select like this. Okay, or you can simply select all. Okay, and you can add any of the filters like this. Yeah. So let's say if you want date range filter, you can add one more slicer and add date into it so that you can specifically filter dates, month like this. Okay. Now one issue left is that this report is available specifically on this PC only. Okay. Now let's say I want to access this report from cloud, okay, from anywhere without having a dependency of this PC. Okay. Now, one way is that people circulate generally Power BI file, but this is not a professional way. What I'm going to do, I'm going to publish this report to the cloud. Okay. And one more thing you will require on-premises data gateway so that let's say the data gets refreshed after you running the utility. Okay. So if you have data gateway, then even from the cloud, this CSV files, underlying CSV files can be refreshed. So make sure you have this on-premises gateway installed. Okay, Power BI on-premises gateway installed. I already have this gateway installed. Okay, so I can publish here. So let me go to my Power BI account and I will go to workspace for test company. Okay, empty workspace here. Now I will publish the sales history here. Okay, so go here and let me hit publish button. Okay, let me save this. Okay, my test company, and let's push this report here so that I can access it from the browser or even mobile app. Okay, let okay. So this report is here. Let's check. Let's open this report. Okay. So you have this report handy even from your browser or mobile app also, and you can play with it here. Yeah, like this. And one beauty of this report here is that you can also export this report into Excel. Okay. So let's say I want to export this report into Excel. So if I go to more option, okay, and you will get option export data. Okay. Let me hit this. Okay, so let me this with current layout. Okay, and of course it in XLSX file. Okay, directly save as window comes. Save as data. Let's me keep it in, let's say desktop, and let me open this file, Excel file, and let's see this report. Okay, so you can see this report here in Excel. Enable editing. Okay, so you got the same report in Excel is in just one click. Okay, and this way can play with this report. Now, friends, I know you have few questions, so let me answer those for you. So, first question is, now this was false sales register. How do I prepare purchase register from it? Procedure is the same. Okay, only thing is that instead of sales voucher, you would be filtering purchase vouchers. Party field is same, and you have to apply filter on sundry debtors. Okay, or rather you can apply filter for sundry debtor and creditor both, because you might have uh, some let's say suppliers, okay, or so some clients who are of both nature, okay, debtor and creditor. So you have to keep in mind that and adjust for that. Okay, and second question which you would be getting, that what about credit notes? So friends, you can also in voucher types you can also select credit notes. Now credit notes would be having negative amounts, exactly reverse amount, so don't worry, those would be getting net off in this report. Okay, So friends, please try this technique, and if you have any doubts, queries, do reach out to me. And if you like this technique, please do like the video, share this with your friends, and subscribe to the YouTube channel.